Times of change, times of surrender, times of climbing to higher and higher levels of consciousness, raising our consciousness, allowing the journey and the adventure to be what we focus on. Because if we're focused on results that we think we want, we'll always be disappointed. And why is that? Because God always has more for us. There's always more. There's always a greater reality to discover. If we're intent on our own view of how things should be, we're not allowing the whole picture to come into our consciousness. And quite literally, every change in our lives simply moves us along a little faster, a little further on that climb. And I love the spiritual journey because the climb is never over. We're always reaching higher and always reaching for a more expanded, greater version of ourselves. We can never stop demonstrating God. We can never stop demonstrating who we truly are. And each and every new day brings with it another opportunity to let go of the past, to embrace this now moment with joy and gratitude. Following the teachings of truth, no matter what your tradition is, always brings us that joy. Jesus said, I have spoken these things to you that my joy may be in you. The amazing thing about spiritual connection is that my joy can be in you. Your joy can be in me. That it's an opportunity what I take on in my consciousness. So we tell you these things that your joy may be full. Not only may my joy be in you, but that your joy may be full. That's the rest of the scripture. Today's message is about change, about the positive nature of change, and the ways in which we can ride the wave of divine guidance. And we can use change as a catalyst for fulfilling the purpose of our lives. One of the first prayers I learned about change, which changed my life, was the Serenity Prayer. And you can repeat it with me if you know it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's a remarkable prayer. First, I must accept. I must ask for serenity, for peace of mind, to accept the things that I cannot change. Acceptance is the first thing, to let go and let God. I must detach from wanting to control everything outside of me. I have to detach myself from those results. But secondly, what do I ask for? Courage. I'm going to have courage to change the things I can. And if I let go of the things that I cannot change, which are outside of me, I'm going to then be redirected to those things I can change, which are those things which are inside of me. So I'm asking for serenity, to accept, but then I'm asking for courage to change the things I can. I can't change anything out there, but I can change my mind about them. I can change the way I think, and I can change the way I respond to the world. That's why any real and lasting and profound change that takes place is going to be within my own consciousness. The third thing I am praying for is the wisdom to know the difference. Because quite often, we'll just forget and start confusing the two all over again. I'm learning some great spiritual principles. Now I'm going to apply them to you. You're in for a big disappointment there, my friends. No, I'm going to apply them to myself. So I really need to always keep the two things perfectly in mind. The things that I cannot change and the things that I can. and the wisdom to know the difference will come. If I'm intent on changing what's out there, people, conditions, circumstances that are outside of myself, I'm just asking for more pain and confusion. And that's why the first step in making any real change in life is to fully accept what's going on, no matter what it is. And then let it go. Accept it and let it go. If I say, I accept what's happening, but I'm still going to fight against it to change it. No. Just accept it and let it go. It's not mine to do. It's not mine to do. The next step is so important because I'm asking for the wisdom of being revealed through divine guidance. What is mine to do? Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, always said, I'm here to do what is mine to do. And that's very important because divine guidance will never lead you astray. It will always give you what is yours to do. The moment I detach from trying to control people and circumstances, that's the moment I become really happy. My joy begins the day I focus my attention on my own consciousness. What am I thinking? What am I doing? How am I contributing to the well-being of humankind? And demonstrating the innate goodness of God in me. How am I demonstrating that? Mahatma Gandhi, which was one of Martin Luther King's teachers, said, be the change you want to see in the world. We hear that a lot and it's become a little bit cliche, but it's not cliche at all. It's a direction from a very important teacher of our times. Don't just talk about change. Don't just visualize change. Don't just tell people how they should change. Actually, get rid of that one altogether. Be the change you want to see in the world. And to be the change, I have to be changed. I'm going to have to embrace the change. I'm going to have to ride that wave of divine guidance, which is always changing me, always moving me further and faster toward that beautiful adventure of enlightened consciousness. It's already there within you. It's already what you are. I'm just blocking it by my own ideas. So instead of trying to change the world, I change my mind about the world, how I respond to it. Be the change. That's some solid teaching right there. Be the change. Be the change. It's a matter of having the courage to change myself. And then I enjoy the experience. I enjoy and experience the freedom when I stop trying to change others. And I don't have to compromise my standards, my moral standards, my spiritual standards, or intellectual standards. I don't have to compromise anything. I can speak out for justice, for peace, for responsibility. But it's very different than constantly pointing out the bad in every situation and bashing those that you don't agree with. To demonstrate the one power and the one presence in my life and in the world, I have to first listen deeply to divine guidance and then act upon it. That's the fifth principle of unity, is that we act upon it. We listen to it and then we act upon it. We be the change that we want to see in the world. Martin Luther King, whose day we celebrate tomorrow, and actually for quite a few weeks we have a season of peace coming up. He said, peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. Peace is the means by which we arrive at the goal. You're not going to get to peace by fighting against everyone. It's impossible. I think it was Einstein. I love Einstein. And we attribute all these quotes to Einstein, whether they're his or not. There's one good one I like, which says you can't simultaneously prepare for war and prevent war at the same time. You can't have peace if you're fighting against war. It's not possible. You can stand up for peace. You can be the change you want to see in the world. And here's one from a guy that I really like. You can find him on the internet too sometimes. Often misquoted. When we are truly peaceful, the world around us takes on the vibration of peace. And thus it becomes the environment in which a deep and lasting peace can be cultivated. That's why in the Course in Miracles it says, or in the opposite version of our prayer for protection, wherever I am, God is. Isn't that wonderful? So wherever I am, peace is. Wherever I am, peace is there because it's my environment. It's the vibration which I live in. It's what I'm asking for and praying for, but it's more than that. It's taking on the vibration, being the change that I want to see in the world. And that's the most challenging part. We have to admit we don't know how to do it. It is an adventure. It is a climb. It's going to be an uphill battle. There's going to be a lot of things that we don't understand along the way. But each thing we need will be revealed to us through divine guidance. And I know within each and every one of us there lies everything we need to know in order to ride that wave of divine guidance. And all things whatsoever the Creator has is not only ours, it's what we are. I read across this guy in my pastoral counseling research, Viktor Frankl. He's a psychotherapist, but he invented a whole school of psychotherapy. He's an amazing guy, an Austrian, who was a Holocaust survivor. So this is from a guy who had probably more pain than any of us or all of us together would ever feel in one lifetime. And he says, when we are no longer able to change the situation, what happens? We are challenged to change ourselves. Isn't that wonderful? And of course, I'm going to need help. Of course, I'm going to need guidance. But what we have is all the help in the universe. We have divine guidance. We have each other, but we have what lies deep within each and every individual, which is the Spirit of the living God. And when we connect on that level, all things whatsoever we see, experience, look at, feel, and touch are going to be of God, are going to be of love. And I know that when we change ourselves, the things we look at change. The situations around us change, and we are no longer afraid of that energy of change. When things are changing, we say, change is good.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah. But the first waves, they might be small ones. You know, we're catching the little tiny waves at first. But pretty soon we're able to ride that wave effortlessly. And before too long, we won't be able to get you out of the water. You'll be here every single day, every night, taking all the classes and workshops and teaching some too. And you won't be able to get enough of spiritual guidance, and you won't be able to get enough of spiritual fellowship, which comes through meeting together in all the things, in all the ways possible to allow that guidance to be manifest in our lives. So my dear friends, in closing, I want to invite you into the water. I want you to jump in. The water is fine and the surf is up. Let's ride the wave of divine guidance, my friends. Come on, here we go. Thank you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.